This guy's just not careful, but stepped on a puddle of water. It makes you stage. Next to him, he tried to kill him. Because there's a type of Vi withdrawal in the water. Cause death. This type of Vi withdrawal has caused 98% of people worldwide. This disaster started from a rainstorm. From 6 years ago, people who get in this rain have seizures, vomit open, and land on the spot. The first person who discovered this disaster was Dr. Stan. After hearing the news, he rushed to school and took his daughter, Simon, away. He also warned other students, let's go home quickly, it's about to rain. This doesn't make Simon feel right. But she also got in the car and went to the countryside with her father. Now the clouds are quickly covering the sky. Dad also pedaled the GA to 580 horsepower. The boy in the back was horrified. They're all very worried. The father hurried back to comfort his son. But suddenly, the driverless truck was blocking the road. They cover all their paths. Now a drop of rain has fallen. The father hurried the whole family into the forest. They quickly reached a tunnel. The place was made for the end of the world. There was enough food and water inside. For a family, lived there for about 5 years. Even though it's the backbone of the family, he's still a scientist. Then he put on a protective vest and told, you have to take good care of your brother. Then turn around and leave. Right now, the mother and brother are still in a state of fear, so they basically have no idea what's going on. It's at this moment, Simon is online and saw the videos that her classmates were posting. Then, outside, there was a terrible disaster. In front of you and your family, we have to live in the basement and wait for the rain to pass. Calculate later. But not long after that, there was a knock outside. I thought my dad was going to open the door. He was stopped by the mother. Because your father can open the door to this bunker himself, but it's too late. The two sisters ran out and opened the door to see the man in front of him, constantly twitching. Two sisters standing on the spot. It's at this moment. The man quickly grabbed his brother. The mother saw that and rushed out to protect his son. I did my best to push that man out, but he was quickly soaked in the rain. This scene threatened to take the two sisters 5 seconds. The mother used her last strength to tell the two sisters, quickly close the door. You don't know what to do. I can only watch my mother in pain. The tunnel door slowly closed. To people immediately, limp hands that sit down on the floor because the mother's sacrifice made them suffer. Super ass doesn't know what to do right now. So I called my dad right away. But she discovered the phone. There's no signal here. It's at this moment. You have discovered one. It's a very important clue. So tunnels like this aren't the only ones. But there's also countless other places that can be connected. They went to the meeting room, send communications to other tunnels, but still no one answered. That made Simon was feeling desperate again. She felt helpless and hoped he would return soon. Time goes by, day by day. They've been in this bunker for 6 years. My brother is growing up every day, but the father still has no news. The food in the cellar is running out. That's why I can't stop being disgusted about life in this basement. So you two decided, tomorrow morning I will go to find my father. But did not expect something unexpected happens in the middle of the night. Ventilation system in the basement. Suddenly, something went wrong. It startled my brother Rasmus to wake up. You are breathing now. Extremely difficult. And try to find a way to wake up my sister. Due to insufficient air, Simon fell into a coma. Rasmus immediately hugged her and tried to risk my life running out the door. After the door is opened, Rasmus can finally see the sun. Before, to people with limp feet, hands on the ground, open your mouth and breathe the fresh air here. But you haven't had time to rejoice. We're surrounded by a group of armed men. On the outside, they can recognize the disaster is not over. The leader hurried them back to the cellar. After determining that there are no others here, he locked the sisters in a small room. It turns out that these people are also living people. Surviving the disaster, their main goal is to find food. But the food's in the basement. The two sisters have been eating for a long time. The helpless group can only choose to leave. But they still have no intention of releasing them. Simon through a conversation with someone in that group. The reason they came here is because food, before they are ready to leave. Simon has successfully attracted the attention of Marone. She took the tablet, showed him information about the other tunnels. It was when Maron wanted to see more. Simon directly smashed the tablet and tell Marone that the location of all the tunnels is already in your head. If you want to get food, they need to let the sisters out to find them. Man, there's no other way. I can only take 2 sisters on the road to the tunnels. Next. After being free again, Rasmus was so excited. Raise your face to the sky. Enjoy the fresh air of nature. But right now, suddenly, a car appeared in front of me. Quickly command everyone to hide. They're hiding in a bush. And then covered him with a silver plate. From where BTS they know. These people are members of an investigative team, using images from a drone to search for survivors, and then kill them. Luckily, after a scan of the machine, no one discovered them. But I found another living person. 2 members of the investigation team quickly chased this person. The ghosts also managed to escape. That's when he wanted to lead people away. Simon stood still without moving. Turns out, I want to go back and find those who were alive. This thought quickly gained the support of BT. Although Ghost hidden Zero-G love, but there's no other way. You can only risk your life chasing them. Right now, the Kia girl is frantically running into the forest. You use your power to jump but still end up in a puddle. I saw 2 soldiers coming. The ghosts. He appeared in time and quickly defeated the 2. But when you see a dead animal next to you, they knew the water contained poison. Cause death. The girl kept crying and explaining to them, but the ghost held up the gun and shot her. This scene scared the Simon sisters. At the same time, it makes them indistinguishable. Another direction. Have to wait a while. The ghost could continue to lead them on their way. But people don't know that. The dark clouds have covered. The whole forest is surrounded by danger. Through a long walk, people also get to the place near the basement. It's when Rasmus and BTS are having fun. Rasmus accidentally stepped on a puddle of water. The soldiers immediately saw it. Rasmus quickly pulled his foot out of the water, but still hidden by the ghost captain, and pointed the gun at you. Simon saw this and stood in front of his brother Rasmus. At the same time, she also put her hands on and took off Rasmus's shoes. Come out to check. Lucky for him, these shoes are waterproof, or you'll lose your life. Everyone can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Through 2 days of hard searching, they also got to the basement. Simon used her fingerprint to open the door. Simon didn't say anything, but told everyone to come in. Until down to the bottom, people have discovered that there's enough food and supplies. Enough to live for years. People have been hungry for days. He started eating like a hungry tiger. While checking the room, the woman discovered her father's phone. There is a wall inside that you left behind. She immediately went to find her brother and talk about this. Let him know. You 2 watch paragraph 6 together, in which the father says, "This disaster is very serious. We have to take on a responsibility. I've been to the Swiss headquarters now. No matter what, you have to come here. We need to solve this disaster. It's not possible without you." Through the video, they knew their father was capable, went to Switzerland to study the cure. So the 2 sisters decided very recklessly, "I went to Switzerland to find my dad." Before leaving, the heroine holds Theo on the phone and talks about this. Hidden, no, but he just to find food. So, I don't want to keep going everywhere, and frankly refuse to go with. The female lead is helpless. I can only go with my brother to find him. The 2 quickly arrived in an abandoned city. Out of curiosity, 2 sisters got into a dilapidated old coach a long time ago. It was at this moment that suddenly there was a noise outside. The 2 sisters were so afraid that they were immobile. I dare not make any noise. It turned out to be 2 friends on the team. They think Simon's father is saving the world. I decided to go with my 2 sisters to find my father. Then, they went to an abandoned restaurant. We're going to rest here for a while and continue on our way. Just when they're resting, a group of hungry people rushed in from outside. People can't think and immediately ran out the back door. In a panic, Shebet accidentally separated from my fellow travelers. The heroine walks the streets looking for. It happened to see a missing persons sheet that had been scratched. Gold glued on the wall. I feel very uncomfortable inside. Suddenly, a small boy appeared in front of him. My ass just came to say hello. There were thick clouds in the sky. I see, it is about to rain. Female quickly
Maine
dragged the boy to a nearby house. The boy didn't seem to be eating for a long time. It's just painkillers, food, to satisfy your hunger. The heroine took a portion of the food in 3 lots. Give it to you right now. The boy's father passed by from the next room, eyes full of vigilance. However, when you see your child eating happily, his attitude has softened a lot. He advised your ass should leave this city as soon as possible, because everyone's gone crazy here. If it wasn't for the boy being too weak to walk, he took her to the doctor. I heard there was a famous doctor on the other side of the bridge. Simon immediately took some more food and gave it to his father. I hope they can get the kid out of here. The happy father kept saying, thank you. As soon as the rain stops, he was eager to take his son away. But very quickly after that, surrounded by a group of hungry people, saw food in the child's hands. This group of people went crazy. The female lead looked at the scene in front of her. Dare not stop. That quickly ran to the abandoned bakery. Fortunately, the group of ghosts has gathered here. The heroine told everyone to pack up and leave quickly. But unfortunately, it's too late. A middleman, the young man, came in with a knife and asked them to deliver the food. You don't want to give it? But the man caught it directly, Jasper, and stabbed him a blow. Fortunately, they were ghosts because the worry was timely, so he forgave them. Ramses injured. Can't stand the pain. That screams out loud. To avoid attracting the attention of others, people can only use their carts to order get up and take him to the nearest place to find an ambulance. When they get there, they discovered that the door to the secret vault had been opened by the AI. Underneath the tunnel is so devastated. Looks like someone came here soon to clean up. But Rasmus can't take it anymore. So they can just simply bandage the wound. The wound has been treated successfully for the time being. Captain Marion came to Poker, and let me show you a map that you found on the patrolman. On the other side of the map, there is a wall. Marion thinks they're in quarantine. Over there, the wall could be a safe place. So you two decided, continue to lead people in its direction. But Rasmus, now it's basically impossible to go a long way like that. Your wounds are also starting to show signs. Infection during robbery. People can only use one moving tool and target the hordes. Patrol, to get the vehicle. Heroine asks alone to a deserted road. Of course, the patrol's drone spotted you. Simon started to run and successfully led the flycam to an abandoned building. In a minute, an off-road car charging towards the heroine. BA patrol names quickly get off the car and surround your ass at a time of danger. Suddenly, the drone was shot down. Immediately, the ghosts came out and knocked out the patrol. Then man, start asking them about the information on the map, but from beginning to end, they can't even say a word. Simon moved forward, decided to use words and love to touch them, but the result only get back smiles full of contempt. He told the leader to show them at the altar. Fire, chicken body, after everyone gets in the car and waits. 3 shots kept coming. Hidden ghost leader, also back in the car, and drive with everyone to the safe zone. On the road, everyone fell into silence without a word. Ghostbusters feel ghosts hiding to but only the hidden ghost. I know you were soon influenced by her. You can't kill people. Very fast, the group of people to a village near the safe zone and plan to stay here one night. Then enter the safe zone. But right now, a woman came forward. He pointed his gun at them and asked them to leave quickly. The woman stood up to explain, but the woman didn't hear anything. Until man takes Rasmus out. She agreed to let them in. Turns out, this girl's a doctor. You are very excited to proceed. Suture wounds for Rasmus. While the Kia crowd is buzzing, she accidentally says her father's name. The doctor's face suddenly changed. After calming down, the woman told Simon that your brother needs an injection of fever medicine. Otherwise, the wound will cause high fever. Then she took the 2 sisters to a cellar next door. Use your fingerprint to open the door. This is what makes Poker look like. She immediately asked the woman, why do you have the right to open this door? The woman explained that you were an employee of the Apollo company. I never knew Simon's father. This makes Simon feel unnatural. Because her father was an Apollo scientist. There's no employee who doesn't know you. The doctor told Rasmus to lie on the operating table and avoid misplaced movement. He even tied your hand. Right now, Simon suddenly realized that something was wrong. But it's too late. Lily came in front of Simon and pushed him against the wall. Then he raped you. There are hidden ghosts. I was very worried while waiting. Suddenly, the ghost heard the car whistle. I went to the window to look. It was discovered that the investigation team had been sent here. The curly-haired guy immediately rushed out and fired, "Make a man fall in place." At the same time, I was also caught by the patrol. I saw the ghosts come out to save him. But the guy next to me, "Take a gun and tell him to leave." So we all ran to the basement together. And over here, the two sisters are completely controlled by Lily. She started explaining the reason for everything. Lily, she said she didn't want to confront nature at first, but they killed your child. The rain will destroy the world. It's actually an experiment by your father's company. She wants to defend her father, but Lily's head is filled with hatred right now, so you didn't hear anything. Lily, pick up the syringe and let the sisters taste it. Of this harmful drug. That's when she aimed the syringe right at her neck of Rasmus. The ghosts rushed in time and shot Lily down. Then they quickly untie the heroine. Simon hurriedly picked up the syringe containing VI and withdrew it from the ground into his briefcase. And then everyone gets together again. Run into the deep forest. Not long after, it was dark for them. You need to find a hiding place quickly before the rain comes. It's at this moment. People have discovered an ancient tower. It's still on. While hesitating whether to enter, or a man in white appeared behind his back and said that this is the perfect hiding place. Those who survived, everything here is taken care of, but before entering, they have to collect their weapons, otherwise you will not be able to enter. The sky was about to rain, and he was powerless to hand over his weapons, then followed the man into the mansion. There are a lot of good people here. They enthusiastically invite the group of hidden ghosts to rest. You guys are in a nervous mood and stay here overnight. Early morning, the next day, the manager took everyone on a tour of the farm. Here everyone, stunned to discover not only the stunning scenery, but there's also fresh fruit and vegetables. When people see this, they relax their guard. They were then led to a bathroom, where the manager personally checks the water supply to make sure it's not contaminated, and so the whole team. Finally, I didn't have any more vigilance and started taking a shower, but I still have a little doubt. When people take a shower, I went to check around. I went to the kitchen and found that the sewer had a red stain. So I turned the kitchen up and looked for it. I opened the fridge and saw a horrible scene. In front of you is a body standing. I don't blame anyone who comes here for being treated well, but it turns out it's a creepy mansion. The rest of the team doesn't know that, but still basking in happiness in the shelter, like heaven on earth. This place gathers for dinner once a month, and in that feast can be eaten. I saw the pieces of meat divided and everyone was very happy. I can't wait to enjoy. Everyone's face was filled with satisfaction. After eating, the old man announced he was looking for a volunteer to donate. A girl immediately asked what meat we had just eaten. At this time, the ghost group could not help but vomit. The others calmly looked at them coldly. I thought something more interesting was still behind me. After dinner, everyone is calm, equal, and must participate in a lottery. Who gets what, has flowers. It will be food for next month. Discomfort in Simon's stomach, and others quickly turn to fear. When the ghost comes running, it's too late. I want to stop them, but the managers were pointing their guns at you. Simon trembled and opened the small paper, and when you see there's nothing inside, you breathe in relief. My brother and everyone are safe after this. Simon doesn't want to stay here anymore. The manager wants to keep them. Because I think there's no better place than here. After Simon and the group left, he began to blame. Tell the doctor if you regret the past, it's no longer appropriate to be here. When he finished, he went into the house and closed the door. Simon and the group returned to the forest. Thinking about where to go, the doctor suddenly chased him. She said, Simon doesn't want to know what's in the syringe anymore. Then stab yourself in the neck with a needle. In a split second, the doctor frothed his mouth and fell to the ground. The man fired his gun to free her. He looked at everything in front of him with disbelief. Then gently pick up the syringe from the ground, realized that it contained Vi withdrawn in the rain. See this? Patrick is very angry and quarrels with Simon. It wasn't until Maren Chen stepped in that the argument was cut off. It's over there. Rasmus is dancing with BT. Is unexpected. I realized my wounds had healed a long time ago, but they didn't notice that the roof was getting watery. Then, a raindrop hit BTS in the face. Until the Rasmus reacts. He quickly pushed her out and stood buried, watching the rain seeping into the roof. BTS is sitting on a fire right now. I can't believe I'm about to face death. Rasmus came to comfort her. To show true love. I don't hesitate to kiss you. If we have to die, we will die together, he said. They lie quietly on the floor waiting for death to come. But, it's been a few hours. Rasmus is still alive and well. Hurry up and chase the wild dog next to you. I want to call BTS up, but when she flipped over, she came out. I realized you weren't breathing anymore. Over here, Simon was about to turn to Patrick and apologize just now, but he pushed you straight out. Let the rain directly soak you up. Simon hurriedly crawled up, not believing in this. The ghost knows he's holding a gun at you. I have loved Simon for a long time, but for everyone's safety, I can't help but shoot. It was at that moment that she suddenly stood in front of Simon. I blinked to see my partner die. So step back, finally got soaked in the rain. When I saw this scene, I felt very confused. They are even ashamed of their actions. He quickly led them to a small room, to isolate, but it's been a long time since we've both been infected. Rainwater, over 6 years, there's no more deadly poison. To test my judgment, Hidden Ghost decides to personally out-test. I walked into the rain, every cold raindrop falling on my face, but I don't feel anything happening. By now, everyone is sure that the rain... There's absolutely no more toxins. They're both excited and screaming in the rain. The disaster is finally over. The world is about to return to its former glory, but the joy didn't last long. They saw Rasmus holding the body of BT. This scene just amazes everyone, just scared. People don't dare come forward to help. Rasmus hugs BTS back to the basement. He was heartbroken. Even when Simon asked, I didn't notice, I just quietly left. However, before leaving, Simon forgot to close the quarantine door. Until everyone finds out, Rasmus ran to the house that BTS had lost. Your heart is filled with suffering, and there doesn't seem to be any attachment. Come to this world. Rasmus, in despair, called the patrol over the radio. You tell them, I have been in contact with an infected person, but not infected. Simon uses a drone to find his brother. I saw someone walking towards Rasmus. I knew it was a patrol. She returned to inform the Hidden Ghost and the group. Then we'll come up with a plan to rescue Rasmus. Through countless difficulties, they overpower the patrol to save you. However, during the tense negotiations, Rasmus suddenly steals the syringe containing Vi withdrawn from Tay and stabbed herself in the neck. Simon watched his brother fall in front of him, but not in time to recover. Rasmus stood up as if nothing had happened. A patrol team member to check and be pushed out by Rasmus. People are amazed. Recognize Rasmus carries something that can resist Vi withdrawal. Make you an important person. It could save the world. If you get antibodies from Rasmus, the world can get back to normal. They talked and decided to join the patrol back to the Apollo company. Before going to a patrol officer to thank Rasmus for his dedication, I kissed you on the forehead, according to my hometown ritual. It wasn't long before the man started convulsing, vomiting, and death. People in the car don't know. After a long journey, they go to every safe zone. It's the Apollo headquarters, where the drug that's ruined the world. Through a series of sterilization layers, the group of ghosts finally got into the building. Simon and Rasmus are taken to work and see my father, who's been away for years. Simon cannot suppress emotions. They beat him with love and hatred. The father explained that 6 years ago, Rasmus is seriously ill, and he took experimental drugs to save me. Successful drug, but not long after the rain disaster hit. You know Rasmus has antibodies. But to get that antibody right, it will endanger your life. So, to protect my son, The father could only quietly close the tunnel, fooled the staff again, research then. He started looking for other survivors. To do an experiment, the goal is to protect Ramos' life. But the two sisters found themselves at the door. Even if the father is very protective, it's only accepted as an experiment, research on Ramos. The Rams are terrified. No matter what, I refuse to open my mouth. The helpless researcher just forced him to open his mouth. But you bit me again. Wait until the dad runs to the lab. Then I discovered you. Nurse Kia has collapsed because the toxin has been released. The father was horrified. I hurried to ask my son, what happened after all? But Mr. Ramos kept shaking his head, that it's impossible to say clearly. See the situation like this, the father could only hold the toothpick again. Go ahead and tell him to check with me. Until he looked at the cotton swab under the microscope, then shut up. This type of Vi has been modified. Although there were antibodies in but at the same time, you're the one who's holding the Vi. After knowing everything, the father rushed to tell the boss. But the boss thinks the father. I want to protect my son. So I didn't give him any suggestions. But all of this has been... Simon can hear you outside. You feel something bad. Then the Ramos and the ghosts gathered together. Prepare to leave this dangerous place. I can't believe I just walked out the door and was stopped by my dad. He pulled out his gun and prevented his son from leaving. Because once Ramos left, it's the source of the infection, that land for many other living people. This time, to save the world. You can only hurt as a confessor. But the Chinese, the ass doesn't understand the real cause. The demon leader stood in front of Yan. I want to get my team out of the safe zone. But he underestimated this father's determination. A gunshot went off. The ghost is in place. This made my daughter almost dead. That's when he pointed his gun at his brother. Sister Poker but immediately rushed, pushing the father to the ground. Then, by that time, the ghost fled. They drove away in an hour. The father's desperate scream. But I can't drive very far. They were stopped by the company's armed forces. Patrol coming in front of them. That's who brought them here. The woman told her brother to stay in the car. You get out of the car to negotiate with the enemy. And while talking to him, you know, for the people of all of them, she was injected by her father. A kind of poison, so it can only work in the quarantine zone. Once you run out into the world, then the toxins and humans will attack and kill them. People, of course, won't believe what you say. But not long after, on the necks of people, red dots appear again. It's also the virus that's spreading. Looks like all of this is real. And the person who wasn't poisoned only had a poker, but even though I don't want to, but in the end, they just take it for granted. They hope, Simon, we can get through the big wall of Kia and get out of here. But over and over again, she hesitated and didn't want to let everyone stay. So you've decided, stay and think about how to detoxify their bodies. And so Simon's men drove back to the base. I saw the car come back. The patrol captain also breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, the owner of the Apollo company, they're planning to save the world with a top group of wealthy entrepreneurs. He admitted that it was the artificial rain that they created. It caused a terrible rain for humanity. Okay, part 1 of the movie The Rain. Death is closed here. What will be the fate of my younger brother? Can they create a cure for the virus? You guys love this movie. Please continue to watch part 2. Brain Review. Hi, and see you in the next video.